Number one, and anybody, you'll see a hand signal to correct me if you need to. If you need to correct me or you have a point of information, do this. So your finger's like an I, information. All right, everybody got that? Okay. If you have a brand new proposal that you would like to put forth for a vote, put your fist in the air. Okay. Somebody tell me what this means.
Comment on the current proposal. Comment on the current proposal.
If you have a comment on the current proposal that is like an amendment, something like this, an addition, put your open fist, okay? If you feel that the person talking, you already understand what they're talking about, you agree, you'd like to move on, do this. Like, all right, let's move on. If you feel the person is off topic, not what we're talking about now, throw them a triangle, diamond, something like that.
Or if we're otherwise doing the General Assembly wrong.
Or if we're doing something completely wrong, do this. Everybody see it? Okay. Now, if a proposal has been made and you are in favor, you put your hands up and wave your fingers.
Jesse.
Okay. If a proposal's been made and you're not sure, you do like on the fence. I'm kind of halfway with this one. I don't know. Right in the middle. Okay. If you are against the proposal, you do this.
Hands
so,
down.
like thumbs down, except it's fingers waving down. So like this. And if, the big one, if you are morally opposed, if your conscience says no way, if you feel like if this passes, I'm going to scoot on out of here and tell everybody this group sucks, then you do this. You put a big X up with your hands, and we all see it. As soon as you do that, we've all agreed earlier in the week that we will then stop discussion, and you get to come up and explain why you did this, and then we go to a vote.
Not to be taken lightly.
And it is not to be taken lightly at all. If you do this, you're serious. Everybody understand that so far? Any questions with your finger? Any questions about what I've said?
I'm going to add the one about that one.
Yeah, we did that. I'll remind everybody. If you need somebody to wrap up because you already agree with them, do this. Okay? If somebody makes a proposal and you have information about the proposal, not an amendment, but information, finger goes up. Okay, the other thing I'm going to point out is we are going to have a team, okay? So we're not going to do this thing of coming up and writing down because then everybody has to rush up here and it gets kind of crazy. So we're going to have a team of eyes. Okay, so the eyes are going to help me see when you have a finger up or when you have a fist up or when you have something up. The eyes are going to help. So if you've got it up, hold it up. Keep it up. And if your arm gets tired, put the other one up. And we'll get to you. Okay? Okay, so with that, if there is a proposed agenda, I think we could entertain that now.
I have a proposed agenda for the evening. Part of it we already went over, which was hand signals. I think that we should have a brief, no more than 5-minute introduction to the movement for some people that are new, or just have a quick 5-minute introduction to the movement for some people that are new, haven't been with us before, maybe checking things out to see what's going on with all the crazy kids in the park. Next, I think we should move to some very brief, no more than a minute, inspirational stories from people that were here last night. Just something uplifting. After that, an update about the meeting that we had earlier today with the police department. And then, sorry, I can't read my writing. Where we stand now after that meeting and any proposed path that we have going forward. After that, discussing potential proposals about our options and possibly approving a police liaison list for future so that we have a couple of people well-spoken that are able to be our voice to Cincinnati Police so we're not all surrounding them. So that's my this is what I would suggest for our agenda tonight, and I think that this should be what we limit our discussion to tonight. Until we get stable, it's kind of hard to bring other stuff into the mix. That's my opinion.
Okay, we have a point of information.
The point of information basically is that we would like to, I believe that we should keep our conversations to the immediate situation. This isn't necessarily the time or place to discuss policy or stances or platforms or anything like that. This is like talking about what's going on tonight. This discussion should be kept to what's going on tonight and what's going to be going on in the next 12 to 24 hours. We need to deal with this first situation first, and I think that what she's getting at is that this proposition would limit our conversation to those items.
Okay. Yes, sir.
To expand on that.
Come right over here. Come up here.
Yeah. To expand on what he was saying, we have scheduled a meeting for next Saturday, is it, regarding that policy debate. So if that's what you're interested in, tune in at that point. We didn't want to schedule it today because it's a Monday and not everyone's going to be able to do it today. And that's a really important thing that we want everyone to be able to do.
Thanks. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
In addition to getting everybody reintroduced to what's going on, as Amanda said, I'd also like to ask that we pass out copies of the General Assembly agreements from last weekend, and every time it's updated, we pass it out to the new members each time so they know what's going on.
Okay.
I have to block that. That's way too much paper. That's
Well, that's a little harsh for a block.
okay.
Good.
Can I make an adjustment to this proposal that we quickly find a way to post it someplace centrally here at the occupation so that people can come into a bulletin board and see what our agreements are.
All right, so let's
Try to go.
All right.
really opposed to killing trees.
Okay, so we have a proposal on the table. The agenda, as stated earlier, I want to take a vote on this. If you are in favor of this agenda only for tonight, put your hands in the air and wave your fingers.
just this General Assembly. We could have another General Assembly later.
For just this assembly tonight. Okay, good. If you are in the middle, do this, hands straight out. If you are opposed, do this T-Rex thing here. And if you would morally block this agenda, put your hands in an X. Okay, motion passes. By the way, briefly, we agreed in our first assembly that we will go with 90% consensus. So if we see a large faction, that means it doesn't pass, so that you know. Okay,
So the first thing on the agenda is a brief intro to the movement.
all right, so we're going to do a brief intro to the movement. I would entertain any points of information at this point if you feel you have something important to say about what has already happened. If not, I will... Yeah.
And we got
Those that don't know, we had approximately 1,000 people on Saturday march all over downtown. We had about a dozen people occupy Fountain Square and no arrest. Last night we occupied the oldest, the first public park in Cincinnati. And we, over 20 people received citations.
Are we clapping for that?
But it's not just what's happening here. We have people bringing in food. We have more food than we can eat. We have people watching us on live stream. We have people giving their support on Twitter and Facebook and coming down. They heard about it on. There's all kinds of things going around. But we need more people down here because this, in real life, is where we really make connections and where we motivate each other and inspire each other and get to see the true diversity of this movement. And we are, of course, unified with movements all over the country. I believe there are now over 900 occupations planned. of something important that is going to revitalize the democratic system in this country. We should all be very proud.
Okay, with that, it's a perfect segue because that's sort of a welcome and moving into inspiration. So, what I would ask is, if you want, 5 people. Up to 5 people. Throw up your fingers if you have something inspirational to tell us about what's already occurred.